24-year-old National Football League player felt ill on the plane on the way back to his second year with the New York Giants. The picture of health at 6'4", 280 pounds, ready to take over the starting center. But he felt terrible. The stewardess and the pilot asked him if he wanted them to land the plane, and he said no. By the time they got to the hospital, he'd learned that he'd had a massive heart attack and lost a third of his heart. The doctor told him, "You will never play football again." A successful financial planner, age 30, had a severe stroke that left him partially paralyzed on the left side of his body and with severe brain damage. The doctor told him, "You'll never go back to work again." A 44-year-old businessman developed a larger than golf ball sized lump on his tongue. When he went to the doctor, he was told he had stage 3 tongue cancer. His therapy would require 7 months of weekly chemotherapy treatments with 50 intense radiation treatments 5 days a week the last 10 weeks of his chemotherapy. All those stories were about me. I'm the lucky fella. What I learned was, it wasn't as important as what happened to me as what I chose to think and do about it. I'm going to go more in depth into my stories, talk about the people that helped me overcome my adversity and the lessons they taught me. The naysayers. Many times in my life, I was told I couldn't do things. One of my early memories was a high school football coach who told me I'd never be any good at high school football. I went on to become the most valuable lineman in the high school league my senior year, play college football at UCLA, and for the New York Giants in the National Football League. 3-time All-Pro and Super Bowl champion Randy Cross and I grew up together. I had the good fortune that Randy and I played high school and college football together, and I learned a lot from him. Randy used to tell me, take the things that negative people say and use that as fuel to prove them wrong. If your life has been on the line, like my life has been, you're not going to want to hang around negative people very long. Find positive people and let their positive fuel move you forward on your journey. I know I'd like to hear, "Keith, I know you can do it. Keep going." Playing in the National Football League was a dream come true. And after just 2 years, my career was over. It was devastating finding out your career was ending in the intensive care unit. But when I caught my breath again, I chose new dreams. Just 7 years after my football career was cut short and enjoying a successful career in the financial services industry, life sacked me again when I had the stroke. One of the consequences of the stroke was the left side paralysis. And the doctor told me, you're going to regain very little movement on your left fingers. Even though you're left-handed, you should learn how to write with your right hand. I chose not to buy into that, and I decided I was going to keep working with my left hand until I could move my fingers and write again. One of the worst things about the stroke was what the doctor told me at age 30, with my wife standing next to me, holding our 7-month-old doctor. The doctor told me, "You will never go back to work again." I told myself what my dad had told me many times growing up. Someone's got to beat the odds, Keith. Why not you? And I'm asking you, why not you? Why not us? As I looked at my family, there was fear, but there's also resolve in the thought of not being able to support them at age 30. I used what the doctor had said as fuel for my success. I committed to myself that I was not going to leave therapy until I got back to work. One of the other outcomes from the stroke was higher level cognitive problem-solving difficulties. But I turned that into a positive. I always kind of felt I was a little slow, and now I had this amazing excuse for the way I'd been my whole life. It was perfect. perfect. I found that being positive and staying around positive people was the best medicine. One day, one of my nurses, Kathy, came into my room and asked me a question that changed my life. She said, "Keith, what do you think is more important? What happens to you in life, or how you respond to what happens to you?" It was at that point I was reminded that my life was going to be defined by how I responded to adversity. With unwavering faith, the support of family and friends, I embarked on a journey of rehabilitation and resilience. It took 12 years, but with a great team, I was able to make it to the top 0.1% of my industry, defying the odds again. Adversity can be a dream thief if you let it. It can sideline your dreams or redirect your dreams, but never let adversity rob you from having a dream. June of 2001, faced with stage 3 tongue cancer, I was again thrust in an ordeal of pain and uncertainty. I rediscovered the extraordinary strength in all of us, and I was reminded of the hard work and positivity approach that Coach Dick Vermeil used to guide our UCLA team to the 1976 Rose Bowl victory. Coach Vermeil convinced us we could beat that team, and he worked us harder than we'd worked all year. One of the things I took from Coach Vermeil is that extraordinary strength we all have within us that we just don't seem to tap. Ohio State was the overwhelming favorite. We were the clear underdogs. Coach Vermeil showed us that we did have another gear, and he brought greatness out of all of us. We ended up upsetting Ohio State 23-10 to win the Rose Bowl game. Throughout my life, I've come to believe that life is not about what happens to us. It's defined by our response to adversity. Let your response unlock your key to success and reshape your destiny. In the face of darkness, find your strength within. For me, it was praying to my God that gave me solace and renewal. The worse things got, the more I prayed, the stronger I felt. Find that anchor within you that helps you persevere through life storms. There were several things that helped me through my life, and I hope one of them resonated with you today. From a person who has survived a career-ending heart attack, career-ending stroke, career-ending and almost life-ending battle with cancer, all the things that I've shared with you today helped me overcome my challenges. Each one of us has the power to overcome adversity. Let my story inspire you to unlock your inner strength and embrace the challenges that come your way. What do you think is more important in life? What happens to you, or how you respond to what happens to you? How are you going to respond? The choice is yours.